Hi, my name is Michael, you can call me MBL Designs, and today I'm going to show you guys my new Avengers Endgame Time Heist minifigure display. I also really like to call this MOC the Time Heist Machine, just because I think it's really funny, but we don't have any official name of this as of yet. Yeah, so let's just get into it. This MOC was mainly constructed by some of the scenes that we do see in Avengers Endgame. At this moment, the movie isn't out yet, so I have been rewatching the movie in theaters. I've seen some leaked pictures from the bootleg version online, and just overall from memory as well. So I might have to update this when Avengers Endgame comes out on digital and Blu-ray and all of that fun stuff. But as of right now, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There are some things that I'm not 100% sure about. For example, these things, which I have 6 of all around, they should be a lot thinner. So they are about 2 to almost 4 studs wide, and that is too big. But with the size I have for the whole platform itself, it actually works out pretty good in my opinion. So that's one of the nitpicks I would say about this MOC, but everything else I'm really happy about. So as you probably can see right here, this barely fits on my review table, and this is also the first time I've done anything like this. Most of my MOCs are either freeform or just one singular thing, and if I have multiple things I usually put them on a base plate, or as like the Wakanda display, which link in the description and the card right here. The Avengers Wakanda display was built in the typical freeform technique, where you don't have any base plates underneath, you just build multiple plates and build on top of them. That MOC actually detaches into multiple pieces, but when I put it together it's one singular piece, while this is actually multiple separate parts. So everything is its own singular thing. So I have 4 ramps and I have 6 of these all around, and as I said, 4 ramps. And then we do have the platform, which is one singular thing, and then the core of the platform is also one singular thing. So my thought was that I would show you guys all of the separate pieces on their own, so I can focus a lot more on that, and then show you guys all of it together once again. Starting off with the main platform of this MOC, where we do have all of the Avengers assembled to go on their time heist. One major thing that I can point out is the fact that the core of this model is actually not attached to anything. I'd really tried to attach some part of the platform to these technic points right here on the side, but I couldn't really get them leveled the right way for the platform to actually stand on the ground and be attached to the main platform at the same time. So this was what I came up with, basically. And one thing that really wasn't planned at all is that it kind of reminds me of an arc reactor, which is really fun. But taking a closer look to the actual platform, this was probably the more difficult part, because I'm not really used to working with angles and stuff like that. I did actually base this off the carbon freezing shaper from the assault at Cloud City, I think it's called, one of the Star Wars model. Just the base of it was the start, but then I expanded upon that. Then also on the underside, whoa, Hulk just fell down. I added this, this is basically the whole strength of the model. All of the platforms are connected to these using a snot piece on the other side of this because it's 2 brick high. And let's see if I can take it apart a bit. So I do have a snot brick right there, which is connected to the plates all around right here. And when transporting it, I will just be taking off these legs so it gets a lot flatter and I can transport it with ease. And yeah, there isn't really much else to point out with the platform itself. So it's quite high compared to a minifigure, because if we take a look right here, yeah, it's quite high, so it's about another minifigure head in difference or in height between the platform and a minifigure. So the way I actually get the minifigures to actually get up to the platform itself is by using these platforms. And these platforms basically line up with these, so I know exactly where they are supposed to go. But taking a closer look at the platforms, they are quite simple actually, but I really liked how the legs right here turned out. But I did also use these, I don't really know because they've been used for so many different things. They've been used for antennas in Star Wars, for example, or radar dishes, basically. And they've been used on snowplows as well. So having 6 of them next to each other, making this arch basically, or not arch but slope. Pretty simple, but some snot techniques were used here just so I could get them in the right angle. And all of the legs are touching the ground basically. And as I said, I do have 4 of these just at the different angles of the platform, so the minifigures can get up to the platform itself. Now taking a look at this, which I have no clue what to actually call it at all. I would call this, just for ease, the quantum realm dispenser or whatever. I have no idea what to actually call these. We don't have any names for them in the movie. Hopefully they come up with some visual dictionary or something where we actually get a name for these, because that would really help me. But they are also quite simple, also using a snot technique right there, some hinge pieces right here, and then yeah, I don't really know what else to say basically. One thing I can point out, which I did say in the beginning, was that these are supposed to be a lot thinner, because in the movie we basically just see these, which then have like glass in the middle or something, and then we do see this orange red light going through, and that's basically the whole thickness of the whole thing. But I couldn't really come up with any good way of replicating that and at the same time getting this sloped arch. So this was the approach I went for. And with the size I have the platform in, this works the best as well. So that was basically the decision I came to. If I come up with a better way of doing it later on, I might update it. But at the moment I'm really pleased with how it looks. And for this one I do have 6 of them. 3 for each side basically. And yeah, as I said, we don't even know what these are called, what they actually do, or anything like that. But in my opinion, they look really cool, they look important to the whole machine overall. So that's why they are here. And yeah, that's basically all of the different components for the time heist machine, that I like to call it. And yeah, let's take a look at how this model looks completed. So here is the MOC at large, basically. And as I've showed, the MOC basically consists of multiple separate pieces that then just I place in the right direction and place. So as we can see right here, in the center we do have the core, which I've already shown you guys, but then we have all of the Avengers that are going on the time heist. So we have Hulk, Ant-Man, Thor, Rocket Raccoon, War Machine, Nebula, Hawkeye, Natasha, aka Black Widow, Captain America, and Iron Man. Mainly all of them have, or almost all of them have, their team suits, the Quantum Realm suits, the white suits, whatever you want to call them, basically. All of them basically have them except for the Hulk, because we haven't gotten him in that suit. I am putting him right here because when he actually comes back, all of them are, or some of them are wearing their disguises. For example, Captain America is wearing his military uniform, and when Hulk comes back, he actually comes back in what he was wearing in New York the last time he was there, which was just his shorts. So that's the reason I have him there, because it's somewhat screen accurate, but not at this point in time, basically. But taking, let's see, so I basically have them all in the position they were standing in the scene when they both go into the quantum realm and then return back from it. One thing that isn't technically accurate either is Thor. We haven't gotten a fat Thor yet. Hopefully sometime in the future we would get that, because it's kind of an iconic thing for Endgame now. But I just placed Thor as he was because I don't really feel it's such a big deal, but at the same time it somewhat is, so I'm kind of torn on that. But I didn't want to alter his hair either, because one thing I always stick to with my minifigure are that they are exactly like they were in the sets, except for minor differences like accessories. So for example, War Machine, which we have right here, can't talk. I've changed his gun mount on the back because I think this looks more accurate. But if I remember right, I don't even think he had it out at that moment. But it's iconic to the character, so I added that, basically. But as we can see, if we take off all of the minifigures, actually, we do see the pattern that I went for on the actual base of this whole thing. And I tried to make it quite easy for me to remember where the minifigures are supposed to go. So clearly this place is for the Hulk, because he's kind of hard to place on this angular plate, so this is his place. And then I did use some of these printed pieces that we actually get in the Black Widow brickhead, which I thought was a cool detail, and it's somewhat similar to what they have on the actual thing in the movie, basically. And then we do have some of these flat silver grill pieces, which I don't know if the camera captures that they are actually flat silver and not dark bluish gray, but whatever. And then we do see the core, which I've already shown you guys is just standing here in the middle. It's not connected to anything. I tried to connect it to the actual base, but considering the different levels, I couldn't really get it level to the ground. and still be connected at a perfect point to the base. So I actually skipped that, considering that I have all of the other things not attached as well. So didn't think that was as big of a big deal. And just overall, I really liked how the whole platform turned out. And I really just love how all the minifigure looks on the actual plate when they are all displayed. And yeah, I just loved all of the scenes that actually took place on this platform in the movie. When, for example, one of the most heartbreaking moments is when, or the contrast when Natasha both goes on the first mission and then she doesn't come back. And how different characters react to that fact is just really heartbreaking in my opinion. And the sacrifices they've all gone through in this movie is just breathtaking. And talking about that, I do have some dream projects when it comes to Avengers Endgame, but sadly we don't have the proper minifigures for me to actually remake that scene yet. It's of course the Avengers Assemble moment from the end of the movie. I really want to recreate that moment. I even have one element that I've already built for such an occasion, if that would ever come. And it's a destroyed Avengers symbol. Just like so. So this would be planted into the ground, and then I would have rubble all around it. And then all of the Avengers minifigures on display around it as they stand in the last battle against Thanos in the end, where Captain America shouts, "Avengers Assemble." That's a dream project I do have going forward, but sadly, as of right now, that's not a project I can move forward on, considering that we don't have some major characters in their right costumes. For example, Valkyrie. We don't have Pepper Potts in her rescue armor. I would like to have Korg and Meek as well if I made that MOC, but considering that we don't have them, and some other characters around that as well that we are missing in the right outfits, such as Fat 4 for example. And that's something I really want to do, but I'm just hoping that they one day make that as either a Bricktober or whatever the case would be, basically. Because right now the future for the MCU is kind of unsure. We don't really know which direction they are going. We know we are getting Spider-Man Far From Home, but except that we don't have anything concrete except for the Black Widow movie, which is shooting right now, which is looking to be a prequel, basically. So we don't really know much about the future of the MCU. But basically that was everything I had to show you guys about this MOC, and I really hope you guys liked this. If you did, please rate, comment and subscribe if you want to see more. And I would really appreciate to hear what you thought about this MOC down in the comments, and also what you thought about Avengers Endgame. It's still a movie I'm not really prepared to talk about in depth, because there's so much, so I don't really know what to focus on, but I have talked about it a bunch on Instagram, so if you haven't, please follow me on Instagram. Link to all my social media will be down in the description. And yeah, that was pretty much everything I had to say today about this Avengers Endgame Time Heist minifigure display. So please rate, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in another video. Thank you for watching.